Hey gardening friends, welcome back to Not Quite Homesteading ESK Garden channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of work in the garden. There are some things that I did not get to finish the last time I was out here after uncovering everything. So I have some plantings that I need to do. I have some seed collection and cleanup that I need to do. Maybe a little bit of pruning, and then if I feel up to it when I'm done with those things, there are some, I kind of want to do like a patio plant overhaul. A lot of my patio plants are looking a little stressed and not really great post cold. And then I have some empty like 1-gallon containers that I could probably plant some like herbs or things or some new seeds in. So I just decided to bring you guys along for today with that, and you know, let's get some work done in the garden. It's a beautiful day out. It's really sunny. It's actually quite warm. I don't know what our temperatures are, but I feel like it's something around like 65 degrees or something right now, and the humidity is pretty high, so it is a little bit warmer than it actually feels. But it is a nice day to be in the garden, just kind of spending time with my plants and, you know, just getting things done. So if you are new here, if you're someone that loves gardening, you're a gardening enthusiast, or if you're a gardener yourself looking for a support community, definitely hit that subscribe button, follow us along on the journey. Let's engage in the comments and let's share some stories and some good times and all that good stuff. If you are returning, thank you again for joining us for another video. Be sure to like and comment down below as well. But let's go ahead and get into this because I have a lot of work to do, and it's probably going to take me about an hour and a half, maybe even 2. So let's get in. So it seems like these are pretty ready. Oh, and it definitely just broke open. Oh no, I'm like losing my seeds. So that was like a perfect example of a ready seed, and the seeds just kind of broke open and fell out. So I'm going to save as many of these as I can. I probably won't save them all because it is a lot of seeds. And while I thoroughly enjoyed the pak choi and would not mind having a ton of seeds to actually grow more, the reality is I just am not willing to wait any longer for the pods to dry before like cutting this plant. I'm going to cut this plant out of this bag today, re-fertilize the soil, and hope that it gives my snow peas down here an opportunity to really kind of thrive. They've been suffering kind of at the hands of how large these plants were. It really didn't have the room to like spread out and grow. So I'm going to save as many of these as I can. You can see these are all like perfectly ready. These, some of them may be what I might do too is just cut off the actual like leaf things, lay them out to dry, and then check on them like in a few days. But I'm definitely going to take all of these ones over here and hope that they don't all just like break on me.
Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep on each other, heavy teasing all day. And when the sun sets, you asking me to come through, kick it with you. Night turn to morning dew, then you.
And if you're like doing this, you'll know that these are ready because they're literally like, you touch them and they're crumbling in my hand. They'll crumble in your hand, so you don't really have to do anything. The pods are breaking kind of easily and the seeds are coming out. And I will say in like this case, we had some moisture. I think we had like rain last night, maybe like the last couple of days. So while most of them are dry, some of them do still seem a little bit wet. So I'll probably let those sit and dry out a little bit more, or just let the seeds as a whole sit out and dry before I actually like put them away to store. But that one's pretty, let's see, that still feels a little moist. So this one has some pretty good sized seed pods on it. So I'm going to hold on to this one. It seems like it needs to dry out just a little bit more. The plant is dead, so they're not going to grow out anymore. But I'm going to hold on to this one So I think that's all I'm really going to hold on to. The ones that I took out that were completely dry, and then the ones that I threw on the floor here. The rest of them can go ahead and go, because I do actually have like a lot more pak choi seeds inside as well. But I figured it'd be nice to just do some seed saving so I don't have to invest in as many seeds next year. And then all I'm going to do with this bed, with this bag, is add a little bit of fertilizer. I'm not really sure what I want to plant in here at this point. I do have some things that I'm kind of thinking about starting, but I'm really trying to make sure I have like a solid garden plan in place before I start planting anything that's going to run into the spring. I've done some of the layout for the garden for spring, but you know, I'm still learning about, you know, what plants are going to produce what. So I also don't want to get too far ahead and then need to, you know, not have the proper, I guess, parameters as far as like planting goes for planting certain plants. Like, for instance, I just kind of recently learned that bell peppers, while lovely to grow on your own, the plants only produce about 3 to 5 peppers if you're going for like full-size peppers. So, you know, that means in order for me to have the amount of bell peppers I want, I have to plant several plants. And, you know, thinking about that in context of making sure I have the proper spacing and, you know, being able to interplant like the right things with those, I've been really kind of giving a lot of thought to how I'm going to lay out the beds for the spring. And then the bags, I do have a plan for them, but I am also getting more bags, so I may update that just a little bit. So this may really not matter, if I'm being honest, but you know, like I said, I just don't want to get too far ahead of it and then I end up having to like pull plants because they just weren't in the right place, or you know, I lose plants because they weren't in the right place. But I'm going to give some thought to this before I plant anything here, and I'm just going to go ahead and fertilize, try to get these plants on track to climbing, and then hopefully that'll give them new life. Like, I do have another set of these growing on the other side. They seem to be doing a little bit better than these, but you know, I'm still going to try to save these and give them an opportunity. And I'm just looking at when I planted these. Now, I planted these on November 5th, and it definitely says that these should be producing within 65 days. So maybe I am about 2 weeks out, but I can tell you that these plants are nowhere near producing just because they haven't been able to suck themselves up properly. So this is kind of one of the things I've struggled with quite a bit as a new gardener, just not getting the plants properly situated to where they can really take off and do what they need to do. But you know, you live and you learn. Hopefully, with them having the room and the sunlight they need, they'll do something fairly quickly over the next few weeks. So these are my leeks. Seems like I got a little weed in here. I'm gonna go ahead and just take out. But when I brought these out of the garage, these had some like fungus on them, some like kind of like wanting to pick around a little bit. Now, I had some decent germination. I didn't put a ton of seeds in here, but there are definitely quite a few seeds that did not sprout from this bag. So I am going to go ahead and plant some more seeds. And I don't know if that's like the topsoil that did that, because it's topsoil and it has like peat moss and I think, how do you say that? Sphagnum, something like that in it. And I think that is what really caused like the fungus to kind of go wild. But after being out in the warmth for a few days, it definitely disappeared. Like, it wasn't what it was when I took it out the garage. So all I'm gonna do is just kind of mix this up a little bit. I'm gonna plant some more seeds. It seems like this doesn't even really need like watering or anything like that. Once I get I ordered some blood meal and I ordered some more bone meal, but once I get my blood meal, I'm going to fertilize these with that, and I think that will do a little something, because it's, you know, leeks are an allium. That will help with some of the leafing. And then once these new sets start to grow up, I'm going to start to kind of top the soil so that we can get those like nice big white bottoms. But I only have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that sprouted out of all the seeds that I put in here. So I'm going to replant. And the soil is still pretty moist, which is nice. Yeah, so consistent with my gardening, I did all this stuff out of season. So I will say that, you know, don't be like me. I was so excited to get started. I wanted to get stuff in the ground. I also wanted to see like what I could push and what I couldn't, you know, especially because we have the temperatures really and truly, like our fall, and I can't even say the full fall, but maybe like the late fall and the winter really are more like spring temperatures. So these are the temperatures that we would have in the early spring, and early spring for us is kind of like late February, early March. And then once March comes in, we kind of get what people would actually consider more like summer weather, where we start getting up to like high 70s, 80 degrees, and, you know, really kind of high humidity points. So I think these are, you know, really in the right conditions, if I'm being honest, to grow a full season. And even if they don't fully sprout until the spring, that's totally fine too. But at least they'll have a head start. You know, we're not due to get any real significant freezes now, like through the rest of January and even midway through February, based on like the weather forecasting that they do have available at this time. There's only one day this month supposedly that we're getting like, you know, mid to high 20-degree weather, and everything else outside of that would be kind of like normal spring-like temperatures. So all I'm going to do with this right now is I put in more seeds, and I was really diligent about how I placed them the last time because I didn't want to have to go in and do a ton of thinning. But this time I just said I'm going to put down a little bit more. I dropped them really in like the open spaces. And you should really bury them. But I'm going to leave them and see what happens. And especially because with these, because I have ones that have already like grown, and I want to kind of top the soil. I don't want those to be so far buried that when I top the soil, I lose them. So I'm just going to leave that, and I think that soil is moist enough for now, so I don't even need to add any additional water. I'm only going to water the snow peas because I didn't water that particular bag when I brought them all out, because I knew that I wanted to like remove the pak choi seeds. So the next thing I'm going to do is set up my garlic so that I can get it planted. Now, I think for my zone, I am a little bit behind, but it also has been, outside of that Arctic blast, it has been pretty warm here. So I don't really know like what is a actual good time for us to plant garlic. I don't know if like you're supposed to do it before an actual frost, I guess, so you can get like a freeze, but outside of that Arctic frost, we're not really getting any freezes. So I don't really know how to deal with that. And our temperatures, like our daytime temperatures for the next like 2 months are going to be well into the 60s, like the high 50s and 60s. So, and even some 70-degree days. So I don't know that there's really a good opportunity to plant garlic. I got these from a neighbor's friend, but I have 3 full heads here. I don't know how many like cloves that's going to give me, but like I said, I think I said in one of my previous videos, I am going to be just kind of playing around with this for the first season. Next year I'll go full steam with planting like my garlic, but these are an Enchilium red. They are a soft neck variety, and I guess they came from Fillery Farm. So it's a farm here in South Carolina, but I was fortunate enough to be able to get these because at the time I was looking into actually buying garlic, everything was pretty much sold out. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant these in this, like my first bed over on this side. And my thinking with this is going to be the bed that probably gets the most sun, the most southern sun exposure when the when that summer, like that in spring and summer sun really sets in. But in thinking about how I want the bed planted, this is going to serve as a really good companion plant for the things that I am intending to plant in this bed come spring. So I did think that much through, because originally I was going to just put it in a bag and just let it grow on its own. But I figured this would be, really good as far as like companion planting goes, and setting myself up for a little bit of success. I'm trying to get them out without breaking them. But this will be fun to play around with. I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should at least get like something like 20, maybe to 25 heads. Oh, a butterfly. Interesting. But I'm thinking I should get about 20 to 25 heads based on the 3 full heads that I have, and being able to pick actual quality sizes for the bulbs that I plant. So having a hard time getting these next couple off, and I don't want to pierce anything. So the rest of this I'll go ahead and use for cooking. So all I'm going to do is kind of like edge the bed with the garlic, going this way and like right in this little center here, and then maybe like these few rows. This was a cilantro plant that I planted. It seems like it's trying to shoot up, but I'm actually going to just pull it out. It doesn't seem to be doing that great. And I'm going to plant some fresh cilantro, so I won't leave that bare. But I'm basically going to take this row, plant my garlic pretty deeply, So the key is just to make sure you're planting it root down, tip up, and you don't need to take the skins off at all. You just want to make sure that they're secure in there and standing upright. And I'm going to sew them each just about 6 inches apart, and I think that should be pretty sufficient. So I found my first like creepy crawler in my raised bed. I don't know what this is. If you guys have like any insight into what this red squirmish looking thing is, to me it doesn't really look like a worm. If it is, you know, and I pulled it out, my bad. But it kind of reminds me of how like the little roly-polies look. So if you have any experience with these, or you know, you think you know what it is, let me know in the comments below. But I think we had a pretty productive day in the garden. That's all I'm gonna do for today in this video, and I think, you know, I think I was pretty productive considering it is pretty warm out here. But I am going to go ahead and water that fertilizer in that I put in the snow peas, and then we're going to clean up the patio, and that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed spending some time with me in the garden today while I get some work done and some prep done for spring 2023 planting. I'm really excited that we got the garlic in and we were able to save some seeds today. I will see you guys in the next video. As always, happy gardening, and thank you for watching. Bye.